I like us to watch a video from someone of the Catholic Church in the Cameroons, and right after that, we'll have a discussion.
Peace and greetings from the Apostolic Nunciature. I am the Apostolic Nuncio in Cameroon, Pope Francis's representative amongst you. Cameroon has become my home and my passion. A temporary exhibit here features Cameroonian children's wishes for peace. This photographic exhibition was produced by the Piarist Fathers with photographer Emily Pina. One child, by the name of Peter, even says, "Living in peace feels good, just to wake up and go to school without fear." He was prevented from going to school because of violence. Our children are our future. Children suffer the most when there is violence. According to UNESCO, over 250 million children worldwide are prevented from attending school because of conflicts and violence. According to the World Bank, over 17,500 children in Cameroon are prevented from attending school, primarily in the regions of the Northwest, Southwest, and far North. Millions of children's futures are destroyed. Violence is never justified. Violence comes from evil. Peace, and only peace, comes from God. Violence is not justified, not on Sundays, not on Mondays, or any other day of the week. This month of September, let us not prevent children from going to school. Let us free the children. Let us allow the children to build the future. I add my voice to countless Cameroonians from all walks of life, from north to south, from east to west, not least the voices of the Catholic bishops of Cameroon, who work tirelessly to build the future. Nelson Mandela once said, "Educating all of our children must be one of our most urgent priorities." We all know that educating, more than anything else, improves our chances of building better lives. Pope Francis reminds us that the mission of schools and teachers is to develop an understanding of all that is true, good, and beautiful. Dear friends, violence is never justified. Only peace is the way of the future. This month of September, please let the children attend school, and together let us work for peace. Thank you. God bless.
You know, it is so ridiculous how history, eschatology, I happen to have done eschatology in Love War School of Ministries, how eschatology has it, and even in the modern day church, how particularly the Roman Catholic Church has opted to be an architect of criminality and fraud in globally. It is really unfortunate to see how a priest will stand to talk about peace and strategically ignore justice. If the Catholic Church would have taken upon themselves to create such speeches to talk on the government of Yahweh for the purpose of justice, I believe changes would have taken place. But apparently it would appear that Kia and others are towing the exact same line, pretending to seek peace without justice. Not even in Bible days did God condone peace without justice. I don't know where to begin with this, but I will begin with you, Barrister Mbesia. How effective is it for the church, the body of Christ, to pretentiously talk about peace without justice? That is even before we get into the government's communique, which I'm going to showcase. This is something we've processed a couple of times, and it's so shocking to see the hypocrisy of the church in the Cameroons. It's scandalous. Please talk to us.
Well, now, when we talk about the church, whatever church it is, you remember that what we call Cameroon today, it doesn't include Amazonia. It's a place of about close to 30 million people. The church is not sitting in a particular house somewhere in Yaoundé or somewhere in Kumba. If the apostolic nuncio, who is also called the ambassador of the Vatican is a country, observer member of the United Nations. If he speaks that way, it means he has the wrong information. He actually has the wrong information from the field. The Catholic Church is not found only in Yaoundé. I'm just dealing with the Catholic Church because that guy is a Catholic. He's speaking for the
Yeah,
Catholic Church. And he has cited the bishops of Cameroon. In other words, he's taking the cue from the bishops who are supposed to be his subjects. But what he will
yeah,
not tell us, what he doesn't know, is that the bishops, if they told him anything, there is so much misinformation given to him. Let me take from the bishops in Cameroon. The bishops of Cameroon, as a bloc, stopped dealing with this issue of Ambazonia in 2019. As a bloc, they stopped and
yeah,
handed over that matter to a certain Archbishop Andrew Nkia or Bamenda
yeah,
publicly. Because in 2019, I remember, the president of the Episcopal Council that groups all the bishops in Cameroon, they had a meeting and they gave a press conference. The president of that Episcopal Council was Archbishop Cleda of Douala. I was speaking for all the bishops. He said that they had requested a meeting with President Paul Biya to discuss this issue, and Paul Biya had turned them down. Why he was saying this? Why he was still saying this when Archbishop Andrew Nkia stepped in and said, "Well, you know, the because he's supposed to be the leader of the 5 bishops in Ambazonia. So he took away the total missionary of bishops in Cameroon and asserted that constituency for himself publicly. I was in that conference. The apostle pronunciation should know this. So he's not properly fed. He's getting information from a certain Archbishop Nkia. We'll come to the address that, but I'm just trying to show that he's got the wrong information. The second point that I would, at this moment, point that he's getting the wrong information is he quotes Nelson Mandela. What did Nelson Mandela say? Nelson Mandela said the education of children is our priority. Yes, he said that, but the Archbishop, ambassador, has forgotten the context in which he said this. Nelson Mandela had spent 27 years in prison in Robben Island. That speech was not made from Robben Island. What Nelson Mandela said was after 1992, when apartheid ended, he went to prison for apartheid. When he got out of from prison after 27 years and became the president of South Africa, he was making this statement in the context of going forward that ended what took him to prison for 27 years. Apartheid. That fought apartheid. He himself was a lawyer. He remained in prison for 27 years. He didn't call from prison that the apartheid regime should give the black children schools. He never did that. Once apartheid ended and Nelson Mandela came out of prison in 1992, and became the president of South Africa, he now put out that statement, which was right. Because there were blacks going to school in South Africa at the time of apartheid, but was inferior, was not the same education that the whites received. So now, apartheid having ended, Nelson Mandela puts out that statement. Going forward, the education of our children is our priority. So the pronunciation was quoting that thing out of context, just misleading people. By their own standard, they are not doing what Nelson Mandela did, because Nelson Mandela fought for 27 years until apartheid ended. They went to the root causes of why the children were not receiving proper education. It was apartheid. They ended it first and then said, going forward, this is what our priority. In other words, they addressed the root causes of the inferior or the poor quality of education that the blacks were being given in South Africa. What was the root cause? Apartheid. They ended apartheid first. Then Nelson Mandela, the first black president, said, well, now this has ended. Our priority now is to educate our own children. That's the context in which he spoke, which I'm sure somebody misled the honorable ambassador to give that quotation. Somebody misled him also to think that all Cameroon bishops, it's true what he was saying. Because as I tried to say in the last segment, would that be the same language from the Bishop of Kumbo? I doubt. Because Bishop of Kumbo has lived it. We have told the story of Ngarabu. Ngarabu is in Kambe. Kambe is under the diocese of Kumbo. Would that be the same story told by the Bishop of Bamenda, if he's honest? Knowing what has happened to people in Batibo, in Guzang, and all those places that fall under the diocese of Bamenda. If you do that, you're lying. The diocese of Bamenda includes all those places where the crisis have occurred. Burning of houses in Bamenda, killing of people and bringing them in trucks and dumping them like animals. That is the diocese of Bamenda. Last we were talking about Azire and so on and so forth. Would an honest bishop of Bamenda say that it's time to return to normalcy, given what has happened just in Bamenda in his own diocese, not archdiocese? Would the same information come from the Bishop of Manfe? Let me land. Would that same information come from the Bishop of Manfe, where this war started in Kembong, where Akwaya is part of Manfe, where 3/4 of Akwaya is now in Nigeria as refugees? Would the same information come from the Bishop of Kumba, where Kwakwa will talk about is in the diocese of Kumba? Condemnation is in the diocese of Kumba. Would that same thing come from the Bishop of Boya, where a corner that we all know is that Mautu is all. That is a Kata Monyenge, where they even kidnap priests. These are the priests of the Bishop of the Archdiocese of Boya. So I think these people are misled to go out and issue statements for which they cannot defend. They are not responsible. They are just ignorant. They are being misled by somebody else. Someone else for
That's Cameroon. That's Cameroon actively doing that. I understand, Commander Fomba, that you have a pressing issue to attend to. So I want to give you an opportunity before we even get into the government's press release in reaction to this. I want to give you an opportunity to speak to us real quickly, Commander Fomba. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Some of these people with robes moving around, they are just there to deceive people, deceive us, deceive our gullible parents, buy some sympathy, speak empathy, and look like they are so pathetic, and but these are people who have the capacity and have the capability to end this war. Rome has the capability to end this war. Pope John Paul or Pope John Francis, how many times has he given Pope Bia communion on his lips personally? When you see this, I'm just tempted to call them charlatans. Come and stand here talking of schools. He lives in Yaoundé with the Atanganjis and the Ngongos and these people who are these genocidaires, these people who are so active in killing, raping, kidnapping of our people. He has not said, oh, stop the war, stop this, it is not right. He has not come out to condemn it. He's coming out to tell, oh, children should go to school. In what atmosphere? So anybody who is taking this type of people for some seriousness, it's a joke. They are just clowns to me. When I listen to some of what he's saying, it sounds to me like more of a clown. He's not serious. He's trying to please the regime in power. Say, oh, we are adding our voices because we want our children to go to school. He has been, I don't know, will I say he has been bribed, or he has taken something from the regime, and he's just being their spokesperson. So we should this type of thing we just discard it on one side. We keep doing what we are doing. We keep doing what we are doing until there are no terrorist soldiers on our streets, until these people have gone back to Yaoundé and Douala. Because if these soldiers go back to Yaoundé and Douala, we will have nobody to fight. Government offices are dissolved. All their governors and DOs and whatsoever, they go back to Douala and Yaoundé. We will have nobody to fight. And let's see how our children will not go to school. Rome is capable to initiate a negotiated settlement and say, Pobia, President Sako, get your team, Pobia, get your team, and need the people in this, they will come. But they don't want to do it. You know why? Because they enjoy the blood that is flowing in Ambazonia. I want to believe that they are making money out of it.